Hi students, in this video I am going to discuss about the genetics. We all know Gregor John Mendel is the father of genetics. He is the first person to demonstrate scientific basis of inheritance and variation by conducting hybridization experiments. First person to demonstrate scientific basis of inheritance and variation by conducting hybridization experiments. Of course, before Mendel, Knight and Gauss, they also conducted hybridization experiments. But the results Mendel presented were very accurate, excellent, and stable. Let me tell you one important point regarding Mendel. Why he is so great? He was born in 1822 and he conducted experiments on pea plant between 1856 to 1863 for 7 years. 1856 to 1863. Let me tell you, at that time, we don't have any idea about the mitosis, meiosis, genes. Without the knowledge of mitosis, meiosis, genes, he predicted and he has given excellent scientific information to this world. It's excellent. It's very great. He died in 1884. Even at the time also, we are not having any information about genes and mitosis, meiosis information is also not very clear at the time. His experimental material is Pisum sativum. This Pisum sativum, commonly called as garden pea, belongs to family Fabaceae, a polypetale family that is there in the syllabus Fabaceae. 7 years he conducted experiments. Initially he has taken 34 varieties. 34 varieties of pea plants he has taken, and later he confined to 22 varieties of pea plants, and finally 14 varieties or 7 pairs of varieties he concluded his experiments. So though he has taken 34 varieties, but ultimately he confined to 7 pairs of pea varieties or 14 varieties he worked. He published his work in Proceedings of Brunn Natural Science Society. Proceedings of Brunn Natural Science Society. In the 4th volume he published it. Regarding the experiments, the Pisum sativum, the plant what he has taken, is a very good selection. Selection of pea plant, and definitely a very excellent point. Why so? Basically, it is an annual plant. It's an annual plant. The lifespan is 1 season. So, when the plant has lifespan for 1 year, 1 season, repeatedly he can confirm, he can do the experiments and he can predict the results. It's not a perennial plant, annual plant. And it has got many distinct alternative traits. it has got many distinct alternative traits. Each time it produces large number of seeds. Large number of seeds. Above all, Payson is undergoing self-pollination. If a plant undergoes self-pollination, you can get true breeding lines. True breeding lines you can get. Because in these hybridization experiments, always we must take the parents in homozygous state or in pure form you have to take. So this Payson plant can undergo self-pollination. Not only that, it can undergo artificially cross-pollination also. It can undergo artificially cross-pollination also. These are all the advantages of taking a Payson plant. What is a true breeding line? Just now I told you that having undergone continuous self-pollination, on account of continuous self-pollination, stable trait inheritance and expression for several generations. The same characters, the same quality, the expression will continue for several generations. So that is the advantage of taking a true breeding lines. Why Mendel got very good success? Just now we said the experimental material is Payson plant, annual plant. And he has a very good knowledge of mathematics, statistics. He applied statistical methods and mathematical logics for analyzing his results. Because he studied number of generations and number of seeds and statistical methods and mathematical logics he applied, and always he maintained accurate records of his experiments. What are the parents? What is that generation? How many seeds are obtained? How many are dominant? How many are recessive? Entire details, what is the character we are studying? That and all, he maintained accurate records of his experiments. For the same trait, he experimented on number of plants. That is one more very important aspect. Generally in the laboratories, we perform experiments, we repeat the experiments. So for one character of the same trait, he conducted number of times, number of plants, he experimented and he obtained hundreds of offsprings. Not a limited number of offsprings. Every time he got a huge number of offsprings. Always a large sampling size gave credibility to his experiments, his results. So sampling size is very large and definitely gave credibility to his results. Finally, he tried to formulate theoretical explanations for the observed results. We are calling them as Mendel's laws. So, the theoretical explanations for the observed results he has framed. The most unfortunate thing, he died in 1884. Till 1900, nobody noticed his work. Of course, the work is published in Proceedings of Brunn Natural Science Society, but which is having very limited circulation till 1900, nobody observed that work. In 1900, independently, these laws were rediscovered by three more scientists. De Vries of Holland, Karl Correns of Germany, von Teschmark of Austria. I repeat, De Vries, Correns, Teschmark. De Vries, Correns, Teschmark. They rediscovered Mendel laws. Now let us see some definitions, key points in the genetics. Character. What is character? Character is feature of the individual. Feature of the individual. Every plant, every animal, every human being, many characters will be present. Feature of the individual. Say for example, if we take plant. When you speak about a plant, many characters are present. You take stem height, seed shape, flower color, flower position, fruit shape. So these are all different characters. Feature of the individual is called character. Trait, T-R-E-A-T, trait. What is trait? Distinguishable feature of a character. When you are speaking about stem height means maybe a tall plant, maybe a dwarf plant. Tall, dwarf. So, distinguishable feature of a character and is detectable variant. When you take a seed, round seeds are there, wrinkled seeds are there. So the character is the seed shape you want to study. What are the two traits? Round seeds, wrinkled seeds. Alleles. Genes which code for a pair of contrasting traits. Genes which code for a pair of contrasting traits, that's called alleles. Alleles represent at least two alternative forms of a gene. At least two alternative forms of a gene or unit factor, because at that time nobody is using the word gene. Mendel is using the word factors. Mendel factors are today what we are calling them as genes. At least two alleles for a gene. Capital R, round. Small r, wrinkled. Capital T, tall. Small t, dwarf. Capital R, small r, that is also round, but it is having at least two alleles. Homozygous condition. Homozygous. When two alleles of a gene are similar. For a gene, according to Mendel, two alleles are present. For a gene, two alleles are present. When those two alleles are similar, capital R, capital T, when both are similar, the condition is called homozygous condition. Heterozygous. When two alleles of a gene are different, dissimilar. When two alleles of a gene are dissimilar, the condition is called heterozygous condition. Capital T, small t. Capital R, small r. That is heterozygous condition. Mendel conducted experiments on pea plant. In the pea plant, 7 pairs of chromosomes are present. A pea plant has the diploid number, it is a 14, and it has 7 pairs of chromosomes. As such, pea plant has many characters, but Mendel selected only 7 characters. He studied 7 characters. Those 7 characters are seed color, seed shape, pod color, pod means fruit, pod color, pod shape, flower color, flower position, stem height. I repeat, the 7 characters he concentrated, he studied. The 7 pairs, they are related to seed color, seed shape, pod color, pod shape, flower color, flower position, and stem height. Of course, right now, we don't require this point, but it is very important. Just remember, 7 pairs of characters he studied, 7 characters he studied, which are distributed on only 4 chromosomes. Actually, how many chromosomes are present in Bison? 7 pairs, 14 chromosomes. But Mendel, 7 characters what he studied, they were present on either the first chromosome, or the 7th, or 5th, or 4th. So seed color is on chromosome number 1. Seed shape is on chromosome number 7. Pod color on chromosome number 5. Pod shape on chromosome number 4. Flower color on chromosome number 1. Flower position on chromosome number 4. Stem height on chromosome number 4. This is a very, very important information you have to remember. Whether they are asking you how many chromosomes are present in Bison, or Mendel characters what he studied are present on how many chromosomes. Be careful, they are present either first or 7th or 5th or 4th chromosomes only. And the 2nd chromosome and the 3rd chromosome, 6th chromosome, the characters he has not studied. Some characters may be present, definitely, but he has not studied. His experiments are confined to 4 chromosomes only, and these are the characters. The character which is expressed in F1 generation, the character that is expressed in F1 generation, that is dominant. The character that is not expressed in F1 generation, but of course expressed in F2 generation, that is recessive character. Dominant, recessive. Remember one point, dominant definitely, whatever be the cross, maybe monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, trihybrid cross, maybe you are studying only one character. Maybe you are studying 2 characters. Maybe you are studying 3 characters at a time. But always in F1, the dominant character only expressed. So F1 always hybrid, and F1 always a dominant character only, it will be expressed. Regarding seed color. Seed color, yellow is dominant, green is recessive. Seed shape, round is dominant, wrinkle condition is recessive. Pod color, the fruit color, green is dominant, yellow is recessive. Pod shape, inflated, or full. That is dominant. Constricted fruit, that is recessive. Flower color, violet colored flowers are dominant over white colored flowers. Flower position, we know very well, maybe in the axial or maybe in the terminal region. Axial flowers are dominant over the terminal flowers. Stem height, tall is a dominant character over the dwarf. This table is very, very important, and these are the characters he studied. Maybe the plant on each chromosome is having several other characters, but Mendel studied on the first chromosome seed color, flower color. Second chromosome, third chromosome, no. On the fourth chromosome, pod shape, flower position, stem height. On the fifth chromosome, pod color. And on the sixth chromosome, he has not studied any character. And on the seventh chromosome, he studied seed shape. So this table is very, very important. Basically, we have to do problems also. So that is why which is dominant character, which is recessive character, that idea must be, you must definitely have that idea. Very important. So this is a table. I will continue in the next video.